Hello, everybody, and welcome to CFO Conversations. I'm your host, Paula Kensington, and I'm really excited today to bring you two fabulous finance leaders from Russia. 2021 is going to start off in a very exciting way as we continue the conversation across the continents, across the world. So I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves when they talk to us today. And this conversation is really about being new to the CFO role. I know we have in our audience lots of people that are either already CFOs, but those that are aspiring to be CFOs. And there's no better way to learn than to hear the insights from people that have walked the journey. So if I can start us off, I'll come to you next, Irina, and then I'll go to Alexandra, just so that you're aware of the order. But I came to Australia about 13 years ago, and I got my first CFO role then. And you know, I was really excited and nervous at the same time, which is understandable. But one of the biggest challenges I had coming new into the role is that I felt really lonely. I felt really isolated. I felt like all of a sudden I was one of the people, and now I'm the CFO. Everyone's looking to me for all the answers, including the CEO. And I felt really nervous about not knowing how would I cope not knowing an answer to a question. That was my biggest challenge, and I'll give you some insights as to how I got over that. But it is challenging, and maybe some of the conversations today might touch on how much more challenging it might be now that we're living in a virtual world. But Irina, talk to us about some of your insights into being new yourself, or how can people think about being new into a CFO role? What should they be looking for?
First, I would like to say hello to everybody, and I'm really glad to participate in such conversation with you, Paula, and hope it will be really interesting for everybody. So I became CFO about 7 years ago, and it was also a big challenge for me because I changed country. I moved from Russia to Vietnam. And it was like new country, new people, new company, and the company was very perspective, but no processes and no controls. So people just know that they have a great product, but nothing else. And it was big challenge from all aspects of the life because. New country, new people, and the big challenge is just to find the contact with people in the company because we had different languages and different education and different understanding how it should work. So first, the biggest challenge was to find this contact with people. The second challenge just then. I prepared the structure and I already saw the picture how it must be. The second challenge was to try to implement this structure because it was connected with additional education of people. It was connected with big involvement in all processes, like from the beginning in the production and from some high level processes. So it was the second big challenge for me, but it was really exciting experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that must have been like a baptism of fire, as we say in England, where you've got everything coming together at the same time, like new country, new language, new job, new team. So yeah. you had to manage everything, which is incredibly challenging. But, you know, I think once you've done it, you've kind of got the skills and the confidence that you know that nothing else is probably going to be as challenging as that one.
Yeah, agree with you. And of course, all changes. It's all about new experience, new skills, and new limits which you just overgo. So
yeah. Did you have anybody that you could
interesting way to?
Sorry, we've just talked over each other. Did you have any body that you could talk to from a peer perspective? Was there any other CFOs in your network that you could bounce ideas off back 8 years ago when you were in that situation? Or how did you find out whether you were doing the right things?
Actually, I did not have any community, so it's just only my experience in KPMG before, but it was audit experience. It was not a CFO experience. So, it's not only about finance. It's just to. It's also about new skills like a leader or so it's just I don't know. It was on-job training, I think. Then I faced difficulties. I just try to think from different sides and try to find a good solution for this. So it's like really on-job training, really exciting and very tough, but on-job training only.
Okay. All right. Alexandra, let's come to you and tell us about some of your experiences or insights into how people should be thinking about moving into a CFO role. What did you experience yourself?
Hello, everyone. Really glad to participate in the event you, Paul, organize, and I think it's really good practice to merge professionals and to share the experience worldwide. So really happy to participate. So my name is Alexandra Khmelova. I'm a CFO and board member of the captive bank in Russia. We are focused on sales of cars. So we produce auto loans and financing dealerships of Allianz, Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi in Russia. And we finance 1/3 of Alliance sales in Russia. So I became a CFO in this bank just 4 years ago. It was 24th of January 2017. So it's
Anniversary.
really, anniversary. And it was my first CFO role. Before I have different position. But some looking back, some advices, what can I say? That first of all, you should understand that you do not cover all expertise of CFO role if this is your first role. You are more experienced. For example, I was more experienced in accounting, tax, and controlling, but I had really limited experience in treasury. And nevertheless, when I told this during my interview with head of global treasury and head of CFO, it was fine. I said that I will put my focus on this area and I will learn. It's really interesting for me. And so there is no from their side. They understand that it's fine. So, and when I came to the role, first was to focus on areas I am first was to understand the request of CEO. What are the pain of this function? So how he see, because inside I see one picture and he from top see another picture. So my intention was to have top 3, 4, 5 priorities from him. What I should focus on during first 100 days in my position. It's first level. Another level, I focused on the areas I was experienced. And I saw some easy cherry picking improvements, which can be easily done. And first and second, visible to the management. Because one side is to be a good professional, another side is to sell what you are doing. Sorry, what you are doing properly. So that was from a strategic view of my activities. And third lesson is do not change everything at once. So take at least 6-9 months of staying and looking what is happening, changing things, some improvements, but don't take a hard decision in this 6-9 months, because different situation could be, different projects could be, people can show themselves from a different side, and you need really some time to have your opinion, to build your own opinion about the team. I can say, looking back, that the function which I'm proud of, the processes I'm proud of, I built after 1.5 years, I think. So it took me 1.5 years to build the financial function in the bank effective, and I am very comfortable to work in.
Yeah,
I think it's I think it's good remark from Alexandra that, or like good advice in the first time that you just came in the company, just look and stay and see how it is working now, and how the people work now, because when you are a new person, you always see areas for improvement. Just because you are new, you are fresh, and but sometimes it's not so obviously, yeah, and some places, some areas you cannot see good, yeah. So it's really good advice to wait and to look, and after that just make some further decisions how you should improve and how you should deal with everything you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yes. And one more thing, Irina, I would add is to deep dive into corporate culture, because you came from another companies with their own corporate cultures, and you need to feel the breath of the new employer, how is projects are going on, how it is organized, how people communicate and behave, and you need to dive into this new corporate culture, and it takes time.
Yeah. Okay, great. I think some really good points there, waiting and watching. But I also think to be really clear with the CEO and others appropriately on the leadership team, what it is that your strategy is going to be, because sometimes people might view you like, you can't make a decision because you're waiting to see. So I think there's a real balance, a real tension between waiting but not looking like you're indecisive. So I think being clear with the CEO, maybe the board, depending on the complexity and the relationships, making sure that you've set out your strategy, that you want to wait 3 to 6 to 9 months before you're going to make huge changes. Like you said, Alexandra, there's some cherry picking of the low-hanging fruit that you can, but you're not going to change everything at the one time. But also I think the point I was getting to earlier is being able to have trusted advisors that you can talk to. And that might be the auditor, that might be your peer group, that might be people like us now, that, the CFO Conversations community that didn't exist when all of us were out there cutting our teeth. So sometimes you feel like you're the only person with this challenge and there's no one to talk to. So think about who you know in your network that has either been there and done it, or you've got a CFO mentor who's now experienced and you're starting out. Don't do this alone. I think that would be my advice.
I agree with you, Paula. My benefit was that my ex-PwC colleague worked as a CFO of Toyota Bank in the very same business center when my bank was, and it was a real help. We just had a lunch, talked what is going on, and so that was a real support for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I agree that it's really difficult to be alone on this way. It's like of course you can and you will be able to deal with everything, but it's really difficult to be alone.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, ladies. I'm going to cut us off there because we could talk about this for another 20 minutes, but just to try and keep it short and the insight. So thank you, ladies. We'll move on.